Hello, good afternoon. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET now with me, Vinny Motiwala, and with me, Cheryl D'Souza as well. Cheryl, a very good afternoon to you as well. Markets, what are they doing now since the last couple of hours we spoke?
Actually, if you look at the markets, Vinny, even if you had not checked it out over the last 2-3 hours, it's doing exactly what it was doing earlier as well. In fact, just holding on to those levels, Nifty has surpassed the 22,000 mark in today's trading session, and that's where it's holding on with the 0.5% of gains. Let's take a look at what Nifty Bank is doing at this point in time and where that one is actually at this point in time. There you go. In tandem with the benchmark indices, with the advanced decline ratio tilted in the favor of the gainers. Hardly any set of losers today, but yes, auto is speeding away.
Okay, that's how the market setup is looking like. But on that note, let's get started with all the stocks that have been buzzing in trade, either on the back of news flows or on the back of technicals. And on the technicals, we are joined by Aamar Singh, while from the research team, we do have Lisa joining in with us as well. A very good afternoon to both of you all as well. Let me start then with the first stock that we're keeping on our radar today, and that is Gujarat Gas. Now, after the summers, we do have some con call highlights that have come in as well. When you're talking about Gujarat Gas in terms of the con call highlights, they've said that the Morbi volumes are at around 3.65 mm SCMD versus the propane volumes, which are at 5. Morbi volumes are impacted mainly because of the Red Sea issues. That's a concern that they highlighted as well. And due to the Red Sea issue disruption, the export market is not doing well. Now, Morbi operating at a capacity of around 75% is what the highlights are coming in. And non-Morbi industrial volumes are at 2% versus 2.4%, which was 2 years ago. Even in terms of EBITDA wise also, they're saying they're maintaining the EBITDA guidance at rupees 4.5 to 5.5 SCM, and they aim to have a balance between the volumes as well as the margins. Volumes are expected to grow at 8 to 10% YOY, mainly led by CNG, and they aim to add 200 new stations over the next 2 years, which would actually be driving a 15 to 20% volume CAGR growth in the segment as well. Now, CLSA as of now, they see a huge downside actually for Gujarat Gas as well. So they're retaining the sell, and they think that despite the huge growth, they expect a downside. So that is why we're seeing clear pressure coming in the stock today as well, 6% downtake.
Alright, before I move on to the next stock, let's just quickly mark defense counters, HAL and BEL. Actually, why are these counters in focus? The flashes on the bottom of your screen is the reason why they will be in focus. You had Defense Minister that chaired the Defense Acquisition Council meet today, and they have gone ahead and approved projects worth approximately 80,000 crore rupees, and they have approved procurement of various defense equipment, and that's one of the reasons why BEL, that is Bharat Electronics, as well as HAL, which is Hindustan Aeronautics, that will be in focus. And there you say for the last few minutes you've seen BEL see an uptake. HAL, let's take a look at what Hindustan Aeronautics is doing at this point in time. 2% uptick coming in for that particular counter. So it's on back of this news, we need to watch out for both of these counters. But apart from that, watch out for Borosil Renewables as well, because that one is in focus, or an uptick of as much as 7%. Last time I checked, there you go, 7.8% uptick coming in for that particular counter. And the reason why the stock is seeing an uptick is because government has initiated anti-dumping investigation into solar glass originating in and exported by China as well as Vietnam. Remember, Borosil Renewables is the applicant seeking the initiation of the probe alleging dumping of solar glass from China and Vietnam. So it's a win coming in for Borosil Renewables. They're saying that the price suppression due to the imports is hurting the domestic industry, and the product is actually used as a component for solar photovoltaic panels. So that's the reason why you have Borosil Renewables surging in trade right now.
Let's move on. And Amar, the first stock on the technicals that you're going to talk to us about today is Federal Bank. Today, surely seeing a very good uptick, but also in the last 5 days, let's not forget the stock has seen a good move as well of around 12%, 12-13%. Is this run-up that is something that will be continuing for Federal Bank?
Yeah, very good afternoon, and thank you for having me on the show. So, looking at Federal Bank, what we've been seeing in Federal Bank is that Federal Bank was in for consolidation, because towards the end of December, it was trading around the 150 odd level, and from there it corrected all the way towards 140. And now we are seeing a breach of that level happening since yesterday. And also what we are seeing is that when there was a significant, not say significant, but when there was a recent decline in January itself, there was heavy volume. So that means that there was a lot of buying that was happening at lower levels. And today we are seeing a breakout above the 160 mark. So Technically, if I look at the charts on the long-term charts, they continue to remain positive, but yes, the momentum has declined. But the short term, we are seeing some very positive triggers there on the charts as well, and taking out a major zone of resistance. The stock has a potential now to rally towards the 180, 185. Now the stock would find very strong support coming around the 145, 150 zone.
All right, moving on. Lisa, Eris Life Sciences, why is this particular counter in focus?
Right, so Eris Life Sciences, they had come out with their earnings, and it was in-line set of earnings that was reported by Eris Life Sciences. And apart from that, they had also announced that they will be venturing into the injectable space via the acquisition of Swiss Parenterals. Now, Motilal Oswal, on the back of this, they have come out with a report, neutral rating on Eris Life Sciences. They have raised the earning estimates by 3% and 2% for FY25 and 26 respectively. And they have valued Eris at 23 times forward earnings to arrive at a target price of 950 per share. Now, according to Motilal Oswal, they have factored in the addition of business from Swiss Parenterals and also improving margin in the Biocon portfolio. And they say that the efforts to build synergy from the acquisition and improvisation that will help in their return ratios going forward. So we can see Eris Life Sciences, it's up around 4% on the back of good upgrades coming in from brokerage as well as good results.
Okay, that's surely a one to watch out for. But Jubilant Pharma, Aamar, on the charts, how is that one looking like? Where do you see it headed, and what is the target that one should keep?
Yeah, so looking at Jubilant Pharma, this is one stock which has again broken out of a consolidation, because if we go back, so in the first week of January, the stock had made a high of around 587, 590 levels, and then the stock did breach those levels around the first week of February, but was not able to take that out. So now we are seeing consistently that the stock has taken out those levels. Currently, it's around 620 odd levels. And also we see that technically it's very strong on the intermediate term trend as well as the long term trend. Short term, now we are seeing a pickup in the trend. So the stock sustaining of the 600, 615, 620 mark, the stock has the potential to significantly rally, because if we go back and look at the stock at a point of time in February of 2021 used to trade as high as almost 1,000. So there is a lot of opportunity there in the stock, and the stock has breached crucial zones of resistance, so which was earlier around 500. Now the next zone of resistance for the stock would come somewhere around the 680, 700 mark. So that's a level where the stock could witness a rally towards. So this is one stock definitely one should keep a watch on.
Okay, let's move on, talk about OMCs, because that's the one sector that we're keeping an eye out on. Now, Jefferies has come out with a note on OMCs where they're actually upgrading BPCL to a buy from a previous hold and hiked the target price to 890 rupees per share from previous target price of 415 rupees per share. BPCL surely is buzzing in trade. Other than that, they're maintaining a hold on IOCL as well. They've hiked the target price there too. 215 is the new target price versus old target price of 135. HPCL, on the other hand, they're maintaining an underperform rating, but they've hiked the target price there too. But as of now, you can see, what they're seeing is in terms of the underperform rating. So currently, the target price they've given for HPCL is below the price at what it is. 550 is the target price that they've given. Overall, they're saying that there's more room for rally in this oil marketing companies as well, and they believe that marketing losses in diesel is something that could hurt HPCL. That is why they're maintaining an underperform rating over there. BPCL, on the other hand, offers the largest margin of safety, is the highlight that is coming in from Jefferies. So on the back of that, we're keeping an eye out on the OMCs today.
All right, so those are the OMCs that are in focus, primarily BPCL. On that note, we slip into a break on this edition of Market Fatafat. When we come back, more stocks to discuss. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET Now, and Autopack, that one is in focus among the top sectoral gainers. And in Autopack, you have Mahindra that has hit a fresh record high level in today's trading session. Remember, post its earnings, it's only been seeing one-way move, and that is upwards today. You had Morgan Stanley also come up with a very positive note on the counter. But why is this stock now rallying about 3.5%, and at one point in time almost 5%? was the reason being that it has signed a supply agreement with Volkswagen. The company plans to use certain platform components and Volkswagen unified battery cells for its own electric platform. They've also said that they are in talks with Volkswagen to see how else they can collaborate in the electric mobility in India. And that is the latest that is coming in. And post that particular development, you can see around 11 o'clock, the stock actually saw a sharp spike, taking the stock to a record high level, now trading higher by about 3.5%.
Let's move on to stock number 8 and Granules India. Aamar, that's the one you're going to talk to us about. From 300 levels somewhere around in August, today it's at around 450. 55% uptick in the last 6 months, that's approximately. Where do you see it headed from here on? Is there still some room left for an upside?
Yeah, looking at Granules India, what we see is that the stock definitely seems to be very strong on the long-term charts. And if we go back in time, so somewhere around I would say the last first week of February, it was unable to breach the 440 odd levels. And earlier also it had made a high of around 435 in the second week of January. And post that, the stock went in for consolidation. However, the structure of the stock continued to remain strong and firm. And what we are seeing is that the stock is trading at record highs and on very strong volumes as well as delivery quantity. So this is one stock one can definitely look at. It's breached some very crucial zones of resistance. So that clearly tells that the stock could see a 15 to 20% rally from the current levels.
All right, moving on, Lisa, let's shift focus. Let's talk about KPI Green. This one has been in focus of the last 3 trading sessions. I believe today the reason is not earnings.
Yes, so it has hit an upper circuit today of around 5%, and that is because the company's subsidiary, they have bagged a 1.5 megawatt solar power project, and the order is for executing a solar power project. This is under the captive power producer segment for Prithvi Textiles, and the project is expected to be completed in FY25. So that's the reason we can see KPI Green, it's surging in trade, and it has hit upper circuit of around 5% today.
Let's move on and talk about New India Assurance. This stock has moved on from 100 levels to near 300 levels right now. Aamar, New India Assurance, that's the up move we've seen in the last 1 year. Are you still expecting an upside, or should everyone start booking out their profits now?
Yeah, I would say if I look at the long-term charts, that continues to remain very strong and firm for the stock. And what we did witness was some sort of profit booking from around 324-25 levels. The stock did correct recently to around 230, and again it's back to around 290. So that tells me that there is still upside for the stock, but the level to watch out for on the upside is around 320-330 zone. That's a zone of resistance for the stock. If that level is taken out, then the stock could rally towards the 350-380 level. So I would say the level to watch out for is 320 and 330. That's a zone of resistance. If the stock consistently sustains above that level, then again we could witness a 15 to 20% rally in the stock.
That's the view coming in on a New India Assurance, surely keeping an eye out on those levels over there. Let's talk about Eureka Forbes. They had reported their numbers a couple of days ago. Overall, in terms of profit, that rose by around 233.86% on a year-on-year basis. The top line also saw an increase of around 14% as well. Now, what we have is today is a brokerage note that is coming from one of the brokerages houses, that is Nomura. They are maintaining a neutral rating and a target price of 568 rupees per share. They said that yes, Q3 was ahead of expectation. The momentum seems like it's again back on track, but they expect the gross margins to actually remain in the range that we've seen in Q3 levels. So range bound is what they're expecting the margins of the company to remain at. So that is why they're maintaining their neutral rating despite the strong growth in terms of the revenue of the company. They think that the margins is something that could remain at these levels. Stock has been with gains of around 0.85% even as of now.
All right, let's talk about another auto name, and this time from the two-wheeler space, which has hit a record high, and that is Bajaj Auto. Bajaj Auto has also hit a record high level in today's trading session, gaining about 4%, and also is gaining for a 7th consecutive session. The stock is up about 9.8% in the last 7 trading session, headed for the best week since late October. And what is fueling the rally today is because the company has received shareholders' approval for the buyback of shares worth about 4,000 crore rupees at a higher than expected 43% premium. It had already hit a record high level, that's the stock price, on January 9th after approving the buyback of shares. And today the stock is again hit a fresh record high levels. And since January 9th till today, the stock is up about 20.5%.
Let's move on, talk about Rain Industries there. And Aamar, this one too is a stock that has been in focus. It's buzzing in trade today as well. What are you seeing in terms of the target price that one could be expecting from Rain Industries after the run-up that we've seen today?
So, looking at Rain Industries, the stock has been quite volatile over the last, I would say, 5 trading sessions from almost 150 level. Currently, it's around 200 odd levels. And also what we see today is that the volumes have been exceptionally higher as compared to, I would say, last maybe 50 trading sessions. So that tells me that today's high is something that's definitely needs to be watched out for. And if we go back and see in August of 2022, the stock had again made a high of 200 levels, and from there it had corrected. Today the stock has made a high of 208, and currently it's trading around 197. So what it effectively means is that the stock needs to sustain over the 200-210 zone. So if that level is breached, then the stock has a potential to rally towards the 235-240 zone.
Alright, let's talk about the new kid on the block then, Lisa. Entero Healthcare, when it listed, it did see a weak listing, or rather it listed at a mild discount.
Right, Cheryl, it listed at around 2.3% discount to its issue price of around 1,258 was the issue price. Well, this 1,600 crore issue that was subscribed at around 1.5 times to its offer, and they had mobilized around 700 crore from anchor investors like Bajaj Alliance, SBI General Insurance and the likes. So we can see it was a weak debut for Entero, as it's around 5% down from the listing price.
Okay, surely keeping an eye out on that. But with that, we're absolutely out of time on this edition of Market Fatafat. So thank you so much, Aamar, as well as Lisa, for joining in with us. And with that, it's a goodbye from Cheryl, myself, as well as the team who put the show together.